Unfortunately, when you finally purchase a house, you have all of these other costs that are incurred with the house. Some of these things carry over if you're renting, like you're still going to have to pay your power bill, you're still going to have to pay your water bill, things like that. But when you own a house, you also have property taxes, you also have insurance, you also have um, any sort of repairs. If there's a big storm that comes through and it rips part of the shingles off of your house, if it's your house, if you're owning it, if you own it, make payments on it, you have to fix that. If it's a rental, tell your landlord. Sometimes it's easier said than done. I know some people have to fight with their landlords to get things done. If you have a hot water heater that goes out, somebody's got to fix it. If you own, it's on you. If you rent, it's on them. But so I just want to kind of give you an idea of some of the other things. There are some guidelines that people that study money and how things work. What they recommend is that your monthly expenses for your house not exceed 35% of your gross monthly income. Okay, so you've got all these different bills you've got to pay. If you have a cell phone, that's considered a utility. So you have cell phone, power, water, trash, sewer, all that stuff are considered utilities, things that you have to pay to function in your house. You don't want that total to exceed 35% of your income. Okay, so what we're going to look at is a kind of a list of bills, a list of payments, things that we have to pay for, and I'm going to try and find the total of that and compare it to 35% of our income. Okay, so we're going to be doing two different calculations, but they kind of go together. Okay, so that just highlights exactly what I just said. So pause that and read it if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to push on. So Sue and Paul have combined monthly gross income of $3,280, and I have hidden my work here. Sue and Paul have a combined monthly gross income of $3,280, and here is a list of their expenses for April. So they've got their mortgage, insurance, taxes, electricity, heating, blah, 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 blah. I went ahead and totaled that up so you didn't have to sit there and watch me punch buttons on a calculator. $1,391.28. So what we're going to calculate now is 35% of their income. Okay, and if that number is less than 35% of their income, they're going to be pretty much okay. They're going to be able to sustain this and keep making those monthly payments and live there. If their income is less than, if 35% of their income is less than what they're paying monthly for their bills, they're going to wind up probably getting evicted. They're not going to be able to keep up with their bills and keep up with their payments and all that stuff. So that's kind of what we're looking for. I want this number here to be less than what I'm doing right now, 35% of 3280. So that is $1,148. So 35% of their income is $1,148, and they are paying $1,391. Okay, so they're spending more money than they're going to be able to sustain. So were their housing costs within the 35%? No, they were not. Okay, so some of these questions, it's going to ask you, I'm trying to figure out, remember how I have this set up. You're going to have to find their total monthly expenses and then the 35% of their income and compare those two numbers. Okay, kind of the same deal. I've got Fred's monthly expenses were his mortgage, his insurance, his taxes, electricity, phone, heating, water, and he had some repairs on his house. Remember, he owns this house, so he has to pay for the repairs. The total for all of those expenses added up, $1,247.36. Feel free to double check me. All right, so we're going to compare that to 35% of his $2,700 income. 35% of his $2,700 income is $945. Okay, so he is spending more for his monthly bills than he really should be, unless Fred's, I don't know. Some months are, I can tell you personally, some months are worse than others for me. Like if it's a harsh winter and you're paying a little bit more for your heating, some things to kind of consider. But from what I can tell, Fred's spending too much money for his place. Okay, that's it. These aren't super hard. You're going to add up all the bills and get that monthly total, and then compare that to a percentage of their monthly income.